Abdullah was a spiritual scientist working with spiritual laws. Many speak of Nikola Tesla, but I'm telling you, Abdullah was also a scientist working by these same laws. And I'm going to show you how to understand the same 3, 6, 9, the Abdullah way. Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy, it's my pleasure. It's my honor as usual to be out here in nature and greeting you. Bring this message of emancipation to you, pointing you to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. Now, I want to speak to you concerning Abdullah, the black mystic from Ethiopia, and Nikola Tesla. Now, many would have spoken about the Nikola Tesla code of 369, but Abdullah taught Neville Goddard the same code of 369 when Abdullah put Neville in a place of affluence by using his imagination on Neville's behalf when Neville had the desire to travel to Barbados in a time of a Great Depression where he had no work and he had no money. Now, this code is in Acts chapter 3. Also, this code is in Luke chapter 5, and it is in St. John chapter 21 also, just to name a few. Okay, but I'm going to explain it a little bit for you so you would understand this same code of 3, 6, and 9 and how all these things are hidden in the Bible, because the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. For the Bible is not literal, neither is the Bible secular history. And the Bible have no reference to anyone that existed thousands of years ago. From Genesis 1 to Revelation 22, it's all a great psychological drama. It all have to do with the human psyche. So, as I was saying before, Abdullah, who was a spiritual scientist working by spiritual laws, understood how the Bible is our spiritual autobiography that must be interpreted psychologically. He also understood that everything is energy, vibration, and frequency. Therefore, when Neville had that burning desire, having come to him through Abdullah doing an act on his behalf, Abdullah could have told him that he would be going to Barbados first class and not third class, even until Neville would have received a letter and would have received $50. And the people at the shipping company told him that he was going third class. Abdullah reiterated the fact that he was going first class. Now, that code of which I would have spoken about before, and I said that it's in St. John 21. It is teaching you when you come to the higher state of consciousness to understand the death, the burial, and the resurrection, coming to your Christ consciousness, that you would understand the symbol of 153, where it tells you that Peter have to do with the art of hearing and faith, whereby he was toiling all night along with the rest of the disciples. And remember, a disciple is a follower, and it is your thoughts that follow you wherever you go. So your disciples are those qualities, their state of mind, state of consciousness, and you are the 13th one. Therefore, he says that he was toiling all night and haven't caught anything? How many times in your life you've been pursuing after a goal, after a dream, and nothing seems to be taking place in your life because you are missing the mark, and sin is missing the mark? And all of that was happening because you do not understand the code of your higher self, because you do not understand what it means to come to the ninth power, because you do not know where to cast the net, or on what side you should be casting your net, because you're not vibrating on the right hemisphere of the brain. Instead, you are vibrating on the left hemisphere of the brain. You're thinking in terms of limitation. You're thinking in terms of scarcity. And you're looking to a power outside of yourself because you do not know your true identity. And that was Neville Goddard's experience, having grown up in a country where colonialism was taught to a people, and where education, as in academic education and religion, is merged together. Therefore, Abdullah was implementing the code of which I am speaking about right now, whereby it tells you that the Christ told Peter, and remember, the Christ is your higher self, your higher state of consciousness, which means you receive divine intelligence or divine communication to understand how to carry out this law of attraction. So when he was told to throw the net on the right side, and he cast the net on the right side, it tells you that his net was filled with fish or fishes, until it's as though the net wanted was to break, and he had to beckon unto others to come and join with him in this great catch, showing you that there are others who he was able to put in a place of affluence also. So my brother and my sisters, when you understand that God is your own human imagination, you will also realize that you can use your imagination on the behalf of another. And that was the code that Abdullah was using to help Neville Goddard, to teach him that we are to be the doers and not just the hearers. Teaching him that the 1, the 5, and the 3, because it tells you that this big catch was comprises of 1, 5, 3, which is actually the code of 9. For 3 plus 3, it is 6, but 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9. Also, 1 plus 5 plus 3 is 9. So it's teaching you about the 9th power. It's teaching you about the higher self. So wherever the code of 9 is, it will always represent the number of man, which will represent 6. And it will also represent completion, whereby Father, Son, and Holy Ghost represents thought, action, and manifestation. So you'll always be living your life operating under this code of 3, 6, 9, because when you understand it, you'll understand that you're supposed to be the master of your universe, because you understand the secret of the universe, and the secret of the universe is that the universe is in you, and you can shift that universe in you, because there are infinite states of consciousness, and you can come into any state that you so desire by shifting the wall inside of you. In the book of Joshua also, the code is right there. Also, in Matthew chapter 27, the code is also there. And it tells you also in Acts that the same Peter, you see, it all teaches you about Peter, which is the art of hearing and putting what you hear to work. Because that is what faith really represents. Okay? And it says that Peter and John, you see, Peter and John again, love. That's why you have to love yourself and embrace yourself. And Abdullah was teaching Neville that also. And so he said, Peter and John, they were going to the temple at the hour of prayer, which is the hour of you having your desire. When you're living in a higher mind, your higher state of consciousness. And the Bible states the hour of prayer being the 9th hour. That is the place that they don't want you to vibrate to. Because your IQ level will come to another level that will take you out of humanity and bring you into your true divinity, which is the true identity. And it says, here was one lying sick. But this sickness was not a physical sickness as the preachers would have you to believe. It was a financial sickness. He was sick financially. Teaching you, if you're sick financially, if you're sick emotionally, if you're sick socially, if you're sick in any way, that one who have come to the highest place of consciousness can lift you up by putting you in a place of affluence, whereby you can stand on your 2 feet financially. And it is said that he went on rejoicing and giving praise. But as you know, when you understand that they use the name of an idol, as in Jesus, to deceive you, to believe in a power outside of yourself, or to believe in one that doesn't even look like you, you would realize that they always place that name to trick you. So when you read the scripture with that name, if you do not have the right understanding to just discard that name and move on, you wouldn't catch the story the way you're supposed to catch it. And you wouldn't understand the code that is teaching you all throughout the Bible. And that is why I'm putting in place a Bible for you, that you can get so involved and know that it is actually all about you, and it's your autobiography. And that is why right now I am just scratching the surface of these things. But as time go by, I'm going to go more deeper into Bible studies and show you this thing and open up these things more clearer for you. But right now I just want to give you just the briefing of these codes that they're talking about, and the Tsla code that they're talking about, to show you it's all in the Bible, and that the Bible is all about you, and it's your spiritual autobiography. And that was the message that Abdullah wanted, was to impart to Neville Goddard, to bring to all of humanity. And that's why I'm continuing that message of self-realization, pointing each and every one to look inwardly, to discover that their real identity is their divinity. And that's the code you have to work with to understand that you are a spiritual scientist and you are your own Nikola Tesla. So with that being said, my brother and my sister, I want to thank you very much. I want to say to you, if what I'm saying to you that is making sense to you and it's resonating with you, if it's the first time that you're listening to me and you haven't subscribed already, I'm encouraged to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share this video. But before I leave you, I just want to remind you that this message I bring to you, that it is the single eye, yes, the single eye message of self-realization, of which Matthew 6:22 says that if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And my brothers and my sisters, hadn't it been that a single eye would have awake within me, after I would have experienced that great mighty shaking, and I awake within myself like a fiery being, having heard the unholy wind, and ascend and roll the stone away, and came out of my body from the skull, like when a child comes out of a woman. Hadn't it been for that experience, I wouldn't have been here bringing this message to you, saying to you that your body is the tomb in which a Christ is buried, and that Christ is the experience that you would have. And you will come to realize that the greatest lie that has been ever fed to humanity is the virgin birth story, where it was given to you as if it is secular history. That's the reason I always say to you, do not let anyone deceive you by making you believe that the sign and the US dollar of the eye above the pyramid is an evil symbol. No, it is the symbol of the all-seeing eye of God in you, which is your own human imagination. For you would have an awakened imagination and come to realize that it is also the eye of the mystic, the eye of the prophet, the seer in you. Therefore, my brothers and my sisters, I always give you the symbol of the single eye with my hand above my crown chakra, saying to you that when you have the experience, you come to realize that it is the rising of the S-U-N in a S-O-N, and that it is the dawning of a new day in your life. For the sun parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun, there is no life and there is no light. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. Also, you're told in Psalm 84:11 that the Lord, thy God, is a sun, as in a S-U-N, and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. And the sun has never withhold any good thing from you. As a matter of fact, it is the sun that powers all of humanity. That's why in Malachi chapter 4 verses 2, you also admonish that the sun, as in the S-U-N, of righteousness shall arise in you with healing in his wings. That is why I'm bringing healing to all of humanity by saying to you to use your mind power, which is your solar power, your sun power, your God power, your creative power, which is the sexual power. Use that power to achieve your every desire and learn the code used by Nikola Tesla, and learn that you have found the key to the universe in your own being, whereby you discover your real identity is your divinity. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.